Hello, kinderguppies. My name's Mr. Cool. I've got a story. Would you like to hear it? Mr. McComb's going to read it. Here we go.
Mr. Cool by Roger Hargreaves. That's me, Mr. Cool. Poor Jack Robinson wasn't feeling very well. He had been in bed for days, and he had to stay in bed until he was better. "I'm bored," he huffed. "I wish I could go outside and play with all my friends." Suddenly, a blue blur shot in through the open window. He looped the loop around the light in the ceiling, and a small blue figure, wearing a hat, landed on the end of Jack's bed. "Woo! Cool," said Jack. "That's me, Mr. Cool," said Mr. Cool. "Cool," said Jack again. "You look a little bit bored," said Mr. Cool. "I thought we should go and have some fun." "I wish I could," said Jack, "but I'm not allowed out of bed." "I think we could make an exception just this once," said Mr. Cool. And he snapped his fingers.
Hey guys, it's me again, Mr. Cool. You're reading that story right now, aren't you? What do you think's going to happen after I snap my fingers? Can you tell Mommy and Daddy a prediction?
The next instant, Jack found himself sitting in the cockpit of a jet airplane. "Why don't you take it out for a spin?" suggested Mr. Cool. "What? Can I really fly it?" said Jack. "Sure you can," said Mr. Cool. "It's easy." Jack flew the jet plane out across the Atlantic Ocean and back again. "That was cool," cried Jack when they were back on the ground. "Thanks, Mr. Cool." "We haven't finished yet," said Mr. Cool. And he snapped his fingers again. Jack heard a crowd roar. He was at a soccer game, but he wasn't sitting with the crowd who was cheering. He was actually on the bench, on the field, with the big soccer players. And he was even wearing one of the team's uniforms. "Quick," said Mr. Cool. "The team manager wants you to go on the field and play." "He wants me to play?" said Jack, not believing it. "But they're a professional soccer team. I'm just a kid." And well, you'll never guess what. But Jack went on, and he actually scored the winning goal for the team. "That was so cool," said Jack. As Jack walked off the soccer field, Mr. Cool snapped his fingers and whisked them away again. Now they were going to climb the tallest tree in the world. And Mr. Cool snapped his fingers once more before you could even say Jack Robinson. And now the two of them were standing on top of a mountain. "Where are we?" called Jack over the noise of the blowing wind. "Mount Everest," said Mr. Cool. "How cool! What are we doing here?" shouted Jack. "We're going sledding," said Mr. Cool. "Let's go." So Jack and Mr. Cool slid from the very top to the very bottom of Mount Everest. Whee! "That was the coolest thing ever," cried Jack. "It was more like the coldest thing ever," stuttered Mr. Cool. And for the final time that day, Mr. Cool snapped his fingers. In an instant, Jack found himself back in his own bedroom. "Thank you so much, Mr. Cool," said Jack. "That was amazing," laughed Mr. Cool. "Well, I'll be off," said Mr. Cool. "But there's one more thing, Jack. Go have a look in the mirror." And with this, Mr. Cool shot out through the open window. Boing! Jack went into the bathroom and looked in the mirror. "Cool," said Jack when he saw himself. And why do you think Jack was so pleased? That's right. All of his sickness, all of his spots were gone. Jack was all better. I wonder, on which page did Jack get better? You guys tell me, or tell Mommy and Daddy.
Brr! After that last adventure with Jack, I sure am chilly. Don't call me Mr. Cool. Call me Mr. Cold. That was fun, though. I helped Jack feel better. Is that what you predicted would happen, guys?
Hey guys, this is Mr. Cool. Did you like that book? Oh, I thought that book was awesome. What? What? I'm Mr. Cool. No, I'm Mr. Cool. Well, I thought the book was cool. I thought it was cooler. I thought it was cool, colder. I'm going to snap my fingers. Hey, don't forget about me. I'm Mr. Cool too. No, you're Mrs. Tall. That's so cool.